Before we get started, research on what tires fit your driving habits best. Tires are your only contact patch on the road, so spend wisely. Tires. One of the most important parts of a car. Not only tires are essential for your safety on the road, but it can also determine if your car will ride good or ride like utter crap. And today, we review one of the most sought after tires on the market. And this is it. This, my fellow bro tax bros, is the GT Radial Champiro SX2. Our test car today is Eman's Mirage. A car so light and so slow, you can say that the SX2s are overkill. We've tested this Champiro SX2 everywhere for about a year. And there was also a time that my GT was also using Champiro SX2s, so I kinda know a thing or two about them. The Champiro SX2 scored 40 out of 50 on our test, and here's why. So, we're going to the Mirage and gonna check Miro for the first time ever. So let's see how this goes. The Champiro SX2 is a sporty summer tire, which means it's only good for 2 seasons, hot and dry or hot and wet.
Oh, stop it, you're killing me.
And when I say it's sporty, it looks really sporty. Just look at the profile of that thing. It looks so square and meaty.
Oh, how I like my women.
Bold Champiro SX2 letterings on the sidewall. Heck, when I had them, I even painted it white. The tread patterns on the side really gives it an aggressive tire look. All I can say is this is one of the best looking tires ever. 9 out of 10. 99% of the time, we use our car for daily driving. Whether it's going to work, running an errand, or sudden trips to Tagaytay or something. These tires, apart from outlasting wear and tear, should be comfortable and give you less fatigue as possible. The tires should also be good at absorbing bumps. I mean, we live in the Philippines, so... goodness me, the roads here are terrible. And for daily driving, the Champiro fares... okay. It's alright. The Champiro SX2 is not the most comfortable tires for daily use. It's loud, crashy, the sidewalls are too hard. If you're doing short trips anyway, it won't annoy you too much. The thing is, the Champiro SX2s are very responsive tires. I mean, it's good if you like sporty driving. I mean, if that's your style. But it's not comfortable for most people. On a brighter note though, the Champiros are actually durable tires. And as I said, it makes your car look good every day. That counts for something, right? I'll give it just a passable score of 7 out of 10 because once again, these tires are not that comfortable. But as I mentioned, the Champiros can actually last long and it can make your car look fire on the daily. 7 out of 10. I'm a road trip guy, and for me, if the tires are too noisy, that's definitely a no-go, amigo. I mean, imagine spending hours behind the wheel. Believe me, the tire noise itself can definitely wear you out. And the Champiro SX2, if we're talking about highway use, is definitely not a quiet tire. It's not really the worst tires I've used on highways, but it's definitely up there on the decibel range for sure. It didn't give me road trip fatigue as much though, because as I said, it's noisy but not unbearably noisy. Oh, believe me when I say that there are tires out there that are much worse. Another thing I noticed about the Champiro SX2 is that it's decently quiet and comfortable if it's fresh out of the factory brand new. Basically, it quickly gets noisier and grittier the older it gets and the more you use them. I'd still recommend these tires for touring once in a while. But if you're the type who likes a really quiet and comfortable ride because you go to the provinces a lot, the Champiro SX2s can be a little bit harsh. So strictly speaking in highway use, I'll give this a 3 out of 5. So you've gotten past the highway, and this is where the Champiro SX2s reward you. Out here on the Toge or the back roads is where you'll want the Champiros to be on your car. The sidewall is hard, making the handling really good, and the steering very direct, makes the driving fast and fun, but safe. When it grips on dry road, Oh my goodness. As I said, the Champiro SX2 is a little bit of an overkill for this Mirage, and the grip can be so immense that it can actually twist the chassis of the Mirage. But we'll talk about that in a bit. I'm just gonna put it out there that these tires are more of like a lifestyle choice. Because if you're the type of driver who likes to drive fast, and if it doesn't rain all the time in your country, the GT Radial Champiro SX2 is definitely a good tire for that. In my experience, even in the wet, the Champiro SX2 actually still handles very well. But for example, the road was dry the whole time, and then there's a sudden wet spot, you're looking at 1 second of pure trouble. Going back to my point though, the GT Radial Champiro tires are actually made to be fun. I mean, take this with a grain of salt. The Champiro SX2s are not the best tire for really long driving, but it's definitely good tires if you just want to have fun with your car. And the fact that the Champiro SX2s excel here on the Toge, I'll give it a really good score. But I'll still go back to my point that it also depends on your driving habits and your lifestyle. And with that said, let's head on to the track. The Champiro SX2s have treadwear ratings of 200, which means it's actually almost semi-slick territory. We're talking super grippy tires. And here on a very hot day in R33, the SX2s performed as such. A little too grippy actually. See, the Mirage has bad handling. The combination of a very wallowy ride and soft chassis, plus the way the SX2 grip, kinda makes it feel like I'm gonna topple over driving this thing. The Mirage was just too soft and too light. Heck, I didn't even have fun. The ride was just too violent. In this particular case, the Champiros actually did too good. Too much grip. Here on the roundabout, the Champiro showed that it was just way too easy to handle the Mirage. It was so grippy in front, there was no understeer, and the worst part is the fact that the Champiros at the rear also eliminated oversteer, so there was no rotation. We did a lot of runs that day, and my conclusion is the same. The Champiros are just really grippy tires, especially on a hot, dry day. But I'd probably consider using shittier tires at the rear next time to have more rotation. It was not a good experience at all. Oh, also a fun fact, after this autocross sesh, the passenger door could barely open anymore, and the driver's side window stopped working. Just goes to show that these sessions were so violent, especially with these tires, that it twisted the chassis of the Mirage. Mir pa more. Now we're at, you've guessed it, Clark International Speedway. So, we're going to the Mirage and gonna track Miro for the first time ever. So let's see how this goes. Eman and I switched cars and we did a few laps to warm up the tires. To be honest, I lost count of how many laps we did with this car and these tires.
And the US is unique. So, always track is a great place to learn about the air car and
After getting used to each other's cars, we were doing multiple hot laps. And we were doing just fine. Here's me overtaking Eman in my car. And the GT Radial Champiro SX2 just felt right at home here on the track. It was communicative, grippy. The hardened sidewalls really keep the car stable, especially on corners. Everything was going great until I reached the Porsche corner. And, well...
Whoa!
Okay, to be honest, it was my fault for not being able to control liftoff oversteer. But it really caught me by surprise because it never happened the first few laps I was lapping this thing. The worst part is, after my spin out, the car wouldn't turn anymore. This is me trying to hit the apex at 50 kilometers per hour. And as you can see here, I was headed straight for the wall. Understeer to the max. I really had to slow down at this point because it was just downright scary. Apparently, when these tires get too hot, it gets pretty unpredictable. Yeah, sure, it'll still communicate with you when it's gonna slip. The thing is though, when it starts slipping, it's literally on ice skates. It was like a bipolar situation right there. It's like, I'll give you grip, I'll give you grip, I'll give you grip, and then I'll let go. So comment down below if you guys disagree with me. I'd actually like to hear from you guys about your experience with the Champiro SX2. On the hands of a semi-pro driver though, things are a little bit different.
A professional driver driving my car and it's, oh my god, oh shit.
For a driver like VJ who races a lot, he actually found the car to be fun. That's because the fact that it feels like it's on ice skates is kinda reminiscent of a rally car. But we're on tarmac, damn it.
Whoa! 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 Oh my gosh! We're flying! We're flying!
He may find the unpredictability of these tires fun, but for me, I had enough. It's a no-go, amigo. See, I'm just an enthusiast, not a pro driver. Also, at the same time, we were testing the Yokohama Advan Fleva that day. And yeah, sure, the Champiro SX2 can out-corner the Advan Fleva any day. But given the same amount of laps with the Champiro SX2s, the Advan Fleva performed consistently the whole time. Take note that the word is consistency. And believe me, when it comes to tire performance, the word consistency means a whole bunch. So I'll give this a 3 out of 5 for almost killing me. Priced at around 6,000 to 8,000 pesos,
Depends on what size you buy.
the GT Radial Champiro SX2s are actually a very good deal for what it is. Summer tires like these and how it performs at this price range, and the fact that it can make your car look really good, it's the kind of tires that you'd wanna buy again. Because as I said, it fits my lifestyle. I like grand touring and I like driving fast. I also like the fact that it can complement the car's looks with its very broad, square profile. I also like the fact that after abusing these tires, I'm talking countless road trips and toge runs, these tires on the other hand look like it can go for another year of heavy abuse. So it's an easy 8 out of 10 for me. We had our particular shares of ups and downs with these Champiro SX2s. Maybe I pushed it too far on the track without sense of control. But you know what they say, every situation is different. So I'm just gonna remind you again that these tires is more of a lifestyle choice. Heck, if I have a car that's putting out more than 200 horsepower, I'll most probably be rocking this. Even if it almost killed me twice on the track. So are the GT Radial Champiros overhyped? Maybe, but they still perform accordingly, and they're fun.